Hi everyone, I am Sylvia Solis. I am actually the founder of SensoPlay. We actually do sensory boxes for special needs children throughout Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana counties. We also work with our local law enforcement, police, EMS, and we design sensory bags, social stories, and communication cards for them, as well as for venues locally in the area. One of the things that we get asked a lot is I have a child that is constantly putting things in their mouth, chewing on their clothes. So one of the things that I thought would be nice to do is make some DIY sensory items that they can make at home. Usually if you buy like some of the Chewies, they're about $13. I found them to be a lot easier. You can do them at home and we can do them really inexpensive. So this video that we're going to do today is going to be on DIYs for Chewies. So I'm going to show you a couple things, what the items that you would need to purchase. Depending on what you want to make, most of the stuff I bought at either Dollar Tree or Walmart. One or two things I did get from Home Depot, or not Home Depot, I'm sorry, Hobby Lobby. So one of the first things that you can make about 4 or 5 different things with is the silicone straws. They come in a 3-pack. They have a brush. The brush is very good to clean the inside. It's very important to make sure you wash these thoroughly before using them. And the brush will also come handy when you have to try to thread it through string. So we have those. Those were purchased at Walmart. They are actually, for the straws, they're $3.98 per 3-pack. And you can do a lot of different Chewies with those. You can do stretch lace. The stretch lace I got at Dollar Tree, and it's 4 different colors for $1. And it's actually like the elastic that you would use for rubber bands on your hair. So it's stretchy. You can weave those, like braid them. You can make into necklace. Socks. I got these at Dollar Tree. I love these ones. They come in, they're the long, like trout knee-high socks. They're soft. I got cookie, there's coffee, and then one of my favorites that I love are the sloths. Make sure before you do any of these, because they're going in your child's mouth, that you do wash them because you don't want any of the dye or anything in their mouth. So make sure you clean them real good. We're going to use this sloth one because I did wash this one. You can get shoelaces to use them for threading. These ones I got at Walmart. I believe they were 98 cents. They had black and white. You can also get them at any of the Dollar Trees, or you can use paracord. If you're going to use the long silicone ones, you can use paracord, so they can also chew on this as well. That's from Dollar Tree. You can do the tubing. Tubing's also really nice. I got this at Walmart. If you're going to purchase this or use this, make sure that you save all of it, even if you're not going to use it all, because when we do, at the end of the month, when we do our sensory bubble lamps, we will need these. And the tubing is actually from Walmart. It's $1.88, and you get quite a bit of it. So I've already used it for my bubble lamp, and I still have all this left over. The other thing, a couple other things that you could purchase to use, they have these at the Dollar Tree. These are the block tapes for like Legos. These are great sensory items for the mouth. They have these in the hair aisle. They're actually like the stretchies that you would use for rubber bands. You can use these. They can chew on them just as it is. Just put them under their hand and they can chew on them. They're pretty sturdy. These are from the hair aisle. These are actually like stretchies for like putting your hair up, like wraps. They have, I know it's hard to see, but they have like a rubber. So when you twined around it, so you can actually feel like a little rubber and cotton. So it's a nice different sensory feeling on it. They can chew on those as well. One of the other things also you can purchase if you're going to do the sock one is you need larger beads. I use the wooden ones. You can get them at Michael's. If you go, always look on their website. They have 40% off coupon. I think they were like $3 for 3 or 4 of them if they're in the wood aisle, and they're actually larger ones. These ones I got at Walmart, and they were 98 cents. So they have 2 different kinds, so they're actually, you know, pretty decent size. They're in the jewelry section. So I'm going to show you the first one, which is the sock Chewy. They can actually just hold around. You could tie it around their arm if you want, and there's beads in between. So, I mean, you can cut out the sock if you want. I don't, because I still use every part of it. So I'm going to open up the beads. And this one's super easy to make. So all you're going to do on the end is just tie at the end of the sock, just a loop. And then you're going to put one of the beads inside the sock and let it go all the way to the bottom. Now these ones are a little smaller. I went back for the bigger ones. I did use the bigger ones for the first sloth one. When I went back, they were gone. So make sure it's all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to go as close as you can and make another loop and tie it. Try to get it as close as you can and as tight as you can. So you see the bead in the middle, then you have the 2 knots, and you're going to do the same thing. Just put another bead down and then loop it. And then you tie it again. This is nice, something they could take with them or on a road trip or in the car. And you're just going to tie your loops. And then you're eventually going to keep doing it all the way down. And at the end, you're going to tie a loop just at the very end. So it's going to look just like that. And then you have the beads in between. So when they chew, they either have the soft spot or they can bite down hard if they want on the wood. Another thing that you can do is the spatula one. So you just take the spatula off. I used a drill and just used a drill bit right down the middle, closer to the top, and then it went right through. Or you can do an X-Acto knife if you don't have a drill. Just put a little X-Acto knife and just keep twisting it in there till you make a hole. And then all I did was take the stretch lace. I mean, you can do shoelaces if you want to make it easier on yourself. Just do shoelaces and thread it through and then tie it. Or you can take the stretch lace, and then all you do is you take the 3 ends, tape it, tie it at the top. So I'm just going to do a small one so you can see what I'm talking about. So you're going to take the cut 3 identical sizes, and then you're going to tie it at the very end. And then all I do is I take just a piece of Scotch tape and I tape it to the table, at the edge of the table. Yep. Just tape it real good, and then I just braid. Just make sure you braid it real tight. But once you braid it all the way down, then you can tie another knot at the end, and it'll look just like that. You just thread it through the holes, and they have a Chewie they can wear on the neck. This actually stretches, so they can stretch if they need to, and then they can chew on the silicone. Another thing that you can do is, a lot of kids say that they chew on their clothes. So especially if you have zippers or if you have hoodies, like with the hoodies, I like to chew on the straps. So I found a cool thing to do also is with the straws. You can do the silicone straws, and all I did is, there's 2 different kinds they had at Walmart. They had the thinner ones and then they had the thicker ones. You could do either one. I just chose to use the thinner one just to show. But what I did was I took her sweater, her zip-up sweater, and if they chew on it did have a string on it. I did take that off. All I did was buy the key rings that you buy at the store for your keys, or if you have plenty of them laying around, you can use one. And then all I did was, I think they have the key rings. You can get them also at Hobby Lobby, and they're 40% off if you grab the coupon online. There's 10 in a pack for $1.99 plus your 40% off coupon. All I did was take the key ring, and then I use an X-Acto, put a hole through almost to the end, but not quite to the end, and then I just fished it through the key ring, and then I put the key ring, fished it through to the zipper. And now all they do is when they pull the zipper up, they can chew on the silicone on the zipper. You can use the wider one if you want to, which is the other straw. You can do the same thing and just use that one in place of it. If you don't, just make sure you watch your children and make sure you wash everything first before you utilize them. The other thing you can do too is, I know like they have a lot of kids like Legos. They have, excuse me, at our Dollar Tree, they have the silicone block tape. And all you really have to do is just cut out like a couple squares. And you can make one yourself. Just cut out the same length. And then all you're going to do is take the back sticky pieces and you're going to line them up back to back. So it makes it more durable. So that it's more durable once you adhere them together. And then you're going to take either the same thing, the X-Acto knife, and put a hole in there, or you can get a drill and go right through it. And then you can do the same thing either on the zipper, or you can make a necklace out of it. You can get the shoelaces and use the shoelaces. All I did was just take a shoelace, thread it through, and then one of the trickiest, that's why I said to keep the brush, because what I did was I taped, because it was hard to get the fish the line through. So what I did is I take this and I attached it to the end, and I actually taped it to the top and taped it here, and then I pushed through, and that's how I was able to get the shoelace through. And then you actually have a nice Chewy necklace that they can use, and you can, you know, just tie it at the top, or you can get clasps and put them on, and then they can chew on that. If you don't want a bigger piece, you can also cut it in half and then do the same thing and just fish it through, and then they have just a smaller necklace. Or you can do it with the stretch bands, either one, or you can even use paracord if you want to use paracord. Make it as a bracelet. So there's so many different things you can do. Like I know these alone are like, I think there was $7 for just the little Chewy, and I think they were up to $13. Drill a hole, put it in a necklace, or you can put it on the zipper. Another thing too is if you have, like that's for the zipper, what if I have straps and my child is chewing on the straps for the sweater? This is a common one. You can do the same thing. Cut through the piece. Cut a piece out. Fish it through. This one's going to be a little harder, and this is where that brush helps. I can find where I put it. All right, so you just fish it through until you can get it all the way to the other end. Almost, nope, that's not it. So what I'm going to do is I take the brush and I'm going to line it up to the end as much as I can. Tape it with some Scotch tape around the brush. So when you push the brush through, it also push the lace through. And then just take it and you slide it through. Yep, it's pulling too hard. There you go. So when you pull it, you can just take it and tie so it doesn't come apart. Tie a knot at the very bottom. And then you might have to do it twice because this one's a little wider. So we're going to do 2 knots, and then you just pull that there. And then all you have a Chewie for your sweater. You could do that on both sides of the hoodies on the strings. And then they have a Chewie on there, and they can chew on that instead of their strings. Another thing you can do too, which might be a little bit more harder, is you actually can cut pieces of the tubing for aquarium. You can do the strings also, the ones that you braid, because you're going to need something thin. You can even use the little brush to fish the string through, and you have a Chewie for a necklace also, so you can use the tubing as well. So a lot of different ideas that you can do for Chewies at home that are really inexpensive. I'm going to post the links for the stuff that I purchased at the bottom of this video, and then we will be back on next week, and I will be doing videos on the push lights. So we'll see you next week. Have a good day, everybody.